Storms bringing heavy rainfall and even some severe weather from the northern plains to the northeast. It's what we've seen recently, and it's what's in store for this weekend as well.
Yeah, not great news. You saw some of those images of the tornadoes this week out of Wisconsin. Still more of that to come. Take a look at the satellite and radar across the nation, and if you're wondering where the hot zone is, it's all the lightning that's now moving out of Iowa into Illinois, also clipping through states like Wisconsin and Missouri.
Yeah, we've already seen some severe thunderstorms, even a tornado warning or two this morning. We'll continue to see severe weather from this system, but as we move to the mid-Atlantic, not a lot of rainfall yet, but this is one of the areas where we have that flash flooding focus later in the day.
There's a new storm system moving across southern Canada. It's clipping up some thunderstorms and will continue to do so across the high plains today as the heat starts to look at some of the flooding that we've seen this week. Thanks for joining us on AccuWeather Weekend. I'm meteorologist Melissa Constanzer. As we continue to cover the stormy weather across the northern tier of the nation, of course, we know we've had a lot of impacts throughout the southern U.S. too, with recent rounds of flooding from states like Texas to Louisiana into North Carolina. It's been an active July, and we're not slowing down just yet. Let's get you out the door this morning with a look at the satellite and radar across the nation. And you can see here where all of the action is into the Hawkeye State, Iowa, really taking up most of the thunderstorms at this point in time. There are some thunderstorms in Wisconsin as well as South Dakota and Nebraska. A little bit more limited here through Illinois, but they're starting to build, so we will see that line develop. And as you work your way farther south, just a few pocketed thunderstorms across portions of the mid-Atlantic into northern Alabama, Texas. Largely quiet this morning with some extra clouds, and we keep a little bit of moisture here through the Rockies as that monsoonal flow begins to pick up and intensify for us. As you can see, we have a lot of clouds out there. The moisture is still here from states like Virginia into West Virginia. You can see some of those showers still tumbling through. Quite a bit of activity through southeastern Pennsylvania as far as some showers are concerned, but the rain has created that risk for flooding, and you can see all the flood report icons here. It doesn't take much water to quickly build up on roadways, closing roadways, stalling out vehicles. These kinds of reports we see over and over again when this kind of pattern breaks through. And we still have a lot of the purple icons here indicating the damaging wind that we've seen too with some of these thunderstorms. So that's going to be trees down, power outages, those types of things from the wind of these thunderstorms. We still have the threat for some thunderstorms as we head through today. We're going to see a little bit slowly starting to rebuild north, but to the west, lots of activity. Michigan, Chicago, Michigan into Illinois, Indy. Up we get travel here as we head throughout to your Saturday. We are going to have some slowdowns. I think one of the biggest concerns will be lightning strikes have claimed at least 12 lives across 9 states this year. And for more on some of such good information, because across the southeast, those thunderstorms, they're every day rumbling. You have to go inside. I know, I lived in lower Alabama, and it's so annoying, but it's so life-saving. We're probably pretty used to it at this point in the season, but nonetheless, the AccuWeather real feel temperature is easily topping into the triple digits when you talk about the moisture in the air along with the actual air temperatures, which stay in the 90s as we head into tomorrow.
Now, the overall setup for the weekend includes a lot of rain for a lot of the country, but not really for Texas. Instead, we have the heat to talk about. And of course, we've been keeping a very close eye on the weather in Texas because of the deadly flooding from the 4th of July weekend in the Hill Country. Search and recovery efforts, those are going to continue on for months. So while earlier in the last couple of weeks we had rain and continued flash flooding as something we were really keeping an eye on, now it's the heat that's going to impact those recovery efforts. Heat-related illness is something everyone spending really any amount of time outside in any of these areas in red, that is something you're going to need to think about. We're talking about AccuWeather real feel temperatures in the triple digits. But let's kind of break it down piece by piece here. Zooming in on where we know a lot of that the recovery efforts are happening from the flooding. Our air temperatures, Kerrville, for example, we're at 92. We're into 96 in Waco, 98 in Dallas here. But again, this is not what it actually feels like outside. We get that from our AccuWeather real feel map. Those real feel temperatures for Texas, it depends on exactly what part of the state you're in. It ranges from more feels like 95 to 100. Then we get to the eastern part of the state and it feels like 105 to 110. This continues on into the southeast as well. So really the whole southern half of the country, make sure you are keeping in mind those precautions against heat-related illness, because it's not just for the weekend. It continues into next week as well. And actually, things get a little bit worse as we look between a flash flood warning and a flash flood emergency. Now, a warning, these are issued frequently when there's flash flooding. It's what you're probably most used to seeing. This means that flash flooding is either happening or it's going to happen soon. We could see flooded roads. That's often one of the first issues that we see, but we could also see homes, businesses flooded as well. Then we have flash flood emergencies. Now, this is only for rare situations that are extremely dangerous. This is issued when there is a severe threat to human life and catastrophic damage. A lot of times water rescues are already underway and they're expecting more to be needed when a flash flood emergency is issued. Now, with